Hello students, today I am going to talk about the essay Interrogating Postcolonialism. This is the first part of my discussion about this essay. You know that this essay is the prescribed text in BA English Honours final year, 5th semester in the paper Modern World Literature. Before talking about this essay, the student should be clear about the concept of post-colonialism. And when we talk about post-colonialism, one thing they should know that in English literature, literary and critical theories have become an important part of studies, literary studies. And there are many theories which we talk about, and a lot of research is presently going on the basis of these theories. We are going to read different texts after analyzing those texts on the basis of these theories. Okay, first of all, I want to talk about a few aspects of post-colonialism, very key aspects. You know, when we talk about post-colonialism, we are talking about something which is coming after colonialism. Post obviously refers to which comes after. And you know that there was a phase of colonialism in different countries. The students who do not know about colonialism, they should understand it from the situation of India. As you know, that India was under British rule for many years, and Britishers established India Britishers considered India as their colonies. So, while talking about colonialism, we are going to talk about the countries which were once under colonial rule, and post-colonialism is the field of study which talks about colonialism and its effect and the reaction against colonialism. So, while talking about post-colonialism, one thing you should be sure that it is a temporal concept. It means that which comes after colonialism. Okay, then there are a few features which we should keep in our mind, and these features are also discussed in the essay Interrogating Post-Colonialism by Meenakshi Mukherjee, which is there in your syllabus. When we say colonialism, that was the rule based on hegemony, rule based on ideological, you can say that some kind of brainwashing. And this post-colonialism is a reaction against that colonial tendency, reaction against the exploitation by the colonial rule of the, you can say that, native people. Somewhere you can say that if we talk about the subject matter, if we talk about the theme, post-colonialism emerged as a reaction against colonialism. It counters the hegemony. It counters the ideological basis on which that rule survived. So, first thing you should keep in your mind as far as the post-colonialism is concerned is that it emerged as a reaction, as a revolt, as a protest against colonial exploitation, against colonial hegemony, against colonial rule. And obviously, there might be some ways in which that reaction or this revolt would take shape. And this reaction took shape not only by criticizing, by highlighting, by emphasizing their exploitative nature, but also by assertion of native or indigenous identity. So, students, this is the second point which you have to keep in your mind, that post-colonialism is not only the reaction against colonial rule, but also it was an attempt, or you can say that it is an attempt to assert native or indigenous identity. But now it has taken a broader shape. The post-colonialism presently not only talk about the colonial hegemony, but also talks about marginals. This is the third thing which you have to keep in your mind. You know that we are only talking about post-colonialism on the basis of certain very key features. You can say that this is the third thing which you have to keep in your mind, that post-colonialism provides space to marginals. The another word for the marginals which is used is subaltern. It talks about the persons, the people who are unprivileged, who are not in the center, who are on the margins, who do not have say in decision making, who feel or you can say that who are at the receiving end. So this is the third aspect which you have to keep in your mind, that post-colonialism talks about marginals, subalterns, the people who is considered as other. And this theory, this concept, post-colonialism, not only voice the concerns of marginals, but also provides voices to them so that they can stand up and say their things. Somewhere you can say that this is a way to recognize, to give identity to those marginals. A few features more that you should keep in your mind. Somewhere you can say that post-colonialism talks about plurality. It doesn't believe in single meta-narrative. Rather, it believes in many narratives. It talks about people. It talks about their stories, their narratives, their life situations, that how they are, how it is very difficult for them to survive. So somewhere you can say that post-colonialism talks about plurality as well. One more thing is there, that somewhere it talks about hybridity. As we know that it is a reaction against colonialism. And while reacting against post-colonialism, we or the people want to assert their native identity. They want to revive, go back to the pre-colonial phase. But after a rule of 150, 200 or 250 years, it is almost difficult to get back to the original position. And there are many, you can say that elements, many mores, many norms which have become hybrid in nature. So somewhere it talks about, post-colonialism talks about cultural polyvalency. Somewhere it talks about hybridity. So post-colonialism is presently a very important, you can say that, concept in the cultural theories. Few more aspects you can talk about while talking about this concept, post-colonialism. Somewhere it rejects the Eurocentric norms, the Eurocentric, you can say that, superiority about so-called superiority about their norms, and it rejects universalism. It says that always there are varied points, and these varied points should be, you can say, emphasized upon. There are a few good books while talking about post-colonialism, or you can say that they are important to know about post-colonialism. One book by Edward Said, Orientalism. It talks about the basic, you can say that, strategy of hegemonic rule of colonial rulers, how they divided ideologically the whole world into two parts, Oriental and Occidental. Somewhere it talks about cultural imperialism. Another book which you can refer to, or which you can study for knowing about different trends of post-colonialism, The Empire Writes Back, by Bill Ashcroft and some other writers. This talks about how the earlier or erstwhile colonized society, they are you can say that writing back, they are asserting, they are revolting, they are taken the help of the tools provided by the colonial rulers, and they are making use of those tools again against the hegemonic tendencies of you can say those colonial rulers. There is many authors, many writers, many novelists who are writing in this strain, and they are read. A lot of research has been done on the works, on the text of those writers. There is one important essay that you can read to know about the concept of marginal in post-colonialism. The essay, Can the Subaltern Speak, by Gayatri Spivak. You can read that. I think this is enough just to acquaint you, introduce you with the different concepts or important features of post-colonialism.